Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 13th day of May, 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your families in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders doing everything they can every day to save people's lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those people trying to help those that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create the demands that cause these ugly and evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. There's more than 700,000 Americans, men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. It was in San Antonio, Texas, where San Antonio destroyed Minnesota 126-97, with Victor Wembanyama really scoring 27 points and having 17 boards. This is the thing. Victor Wembanyama is the only five left that has a possibility of guarding Karl Anthony Towns. And this is why I came to the conclusion that the Knicks hate in the media is really good for the Knicks. The truth is, the Knicks are one of the top two teams left in the playoffs. It's them in San Antonio, okay? The truth is, because of CAT, and I mentioned yesterday, his ability to score on all three levels, his passing ability, his ability to see the floor offensively, the Knicks are a juggernaut. We were seeing all along they were going to be a juggernaut, and they have been on both sides of the basketball, which is why you see them destroying teams by 30-plus points. At the same time, there were people in the media and in Knicks Nation who just basically, like parakeets, chirp at what they hear, that thought that Atlanta was going to beat the Knicks. And for 3 games, it was a series. Until Jalen Brunson figured out, with Rick's help, we needed to go through CAT. Then it was a wrap. The series was a wrap. And Atlanta was exposed as not even being close to the Knicks. Same thing happened in the next series. The Knicks did the same thing. They went through CAT, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap. There wasn't even close. 4-0, the Knicks win their series. So that was the situation up till now. With CAT doing what he's now doing as the playmaking five, there's very little anybody can do. Now, one of the things I notice, especially when it comes to this time of the year, one of my favorite times of the year in watching basketball is the NBA playoffs, because the best teams are doing the best things at this time, and they're playing their best usually. And so one of the things I noticed in the Minnesota game last night is how much Wembanyama changes the game by just being on the floor. So the fact that he's near the lane, Minnesota thinks twice about coming in the lane. And when they do, they have to really arc their shots awkwardly. And they miss a lot of shots because he's there. Just because he's there, okay? And he makes it very difficult. That's why he should be the defensive player of the year. He makes it very difficult for anything you're trying to do offensively because you don't have the paint. You're basically blocked from the paint. You can't come into the paint because he's there, okay? So basically, by just being on the floor, he changes the game. By just being on the floor, he changes the game. So, I need this damn commercial, man. So by just being on the floor, he changes the game. So last night, he calls, and when he leaves the game, like last night, every time he left the game, Minnesota was trying hard to get in the paint, and they were doing a lot of turnovers. Last night, the paint game was 68-36 in favor of San Antonio because of that. And they were doing a lot of turnovers, missing a lot of shots. And when they could, and a couple of times they did catch up a little bit, but couldn't sustain it. CAT does the same thing offensively. Because he's in the game, you can't pack the paint against the Knicks. And if you can't pack the paint against the Knicks, there's cutters. So with Victor and CAT, it's going to be a battle. And again, I'm not trying to say Victor will stop CAT, and I'm not trying to say CAT's going to stop Victor, but it's going to be a battle between the two of them. Everybody else, they told us Atlanta would beat us until the Knicks beat Atlanta's ass. Then all of a sudden something was wrong with Atlanta. Okay, all of a sudden something was wrong with Atlanta because the Knicks the Knicks didn't just beat them; they destroyed Atlanta. Okay, then came the next round. Okay, the next round, the Knicks are supposed to. Some idiot talked about 7 games to the Sixers actually, and I mean he's supposed to be a New York media dude. Somebody that's the thing. So these people are causing me to look at them and say, why the hell should I believe what you say about basketball? And I wonder, who told you you knew anything about basketball? And then I start to go by, they don't know anything. They just, the media put them in a position. See, this is entertainment. And that's all they doing. Stephen A. Smith is a consummate entertainer. Yesterday, he picked the Knicks for LeBron James. Let me tell you something before you start going to that stupidity. Who's going to sit for LeBron James? I would not get rid of OG for him. McCall, no. What, he going to come off the bench for the vet men? Then we talking about something. But he ain't doing that. He going to cost you a lot of money at 42 years old. Hell no. No. Especially if the Knicks win the chip, which they're very capable of doing this year. I don't want to talk about no damn LeBron James. And we done already been through the Giannis. For what? He can't. This is him. Giannis, former Defensive Player of the Year, former MVP, NBA champion, future Hall of Famer. All that is true. But he can't do nothing like CAT could do offensively. He cannot. The Knicks would have to change their whole game and basically trade away most of their important pieces to get Giannis. See, this is what happens when you create a league, which the NBA has done. That's a star-driven league. That's what the NBA has done. They create stars, and I say create them. I'm not saying these young men are not talented. They're extremely talented at the game of basketball. It's a game. Somebody that runs into a house that's on fire to save people's lives is more important than a basketball player. Somebody that breaks up a prostitution ring with children is more important than a basketball player. But we don't pay those people tens of millions of dollars every year because we're more into entertainment than life. And so the NBA creates stars and entertainment, and we start making them life. And so when you create a star like a Giannis, then all of a sudden there's got to be a value associated with him. And the value means half your team. The Knicks made that mistake with Carmelo Anthony. They created a star with Melo. He won a chip at Syracuse. He became an all-star in the league, and they gave away half a rebuilding team to get him, and we didn't win nothing. The Don ain't that stupid. It took him 5 years, 5 seasons, to get the Knicks from mediocrity and laughingstock to championship contention. And here we are. And really, I'm going to say San Antonio is lacking in one area: experience. They're very young. Victor's like 22. Castle from Connecticut's like 22, 23. The oldest dude is Fox, and he's dangerous. He was the centerpiece in Sacramento. So they got a squad now, but they lacking a little bit. They got Harrison Barnes, another vet, another former NBA champion, but they still, with their major pieces, they lacking in experience. So really, they should be knocking on the door right now, which is what they're doing. Just like Oklahoma City was 2-3 years ago before they won the chip last year. So what I'm saying is, the Knicks because of the hate, people underestimate the Knicks. I've heard people say they think Jalen Brunson's not the best player on the floor. It's very much a high level of disrespect, and I love it because Jalen Brunson wants you to bet against him. He wants you to dare him to beat you. And in fact, for a while, he was taking it on his own shoulders till he realized he had CAT there. Till he realized it's not just him, it's a team that they had built around him. Once he realized that, like I would say game 4, Atlanta, they beat him 114-98, 16-point win. That was game 4. Game 5, 126-97, a 29-point beatdown. Game 6, no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, game 6, Atlanta, 140-89. Game was over by the third quarter. Then they come into Philly, game 1, 137-98. Notice what's going on. Beatdown, not just win, beatdowns. Because the Knicks are that much better than these teams. And these teams are pretty good. You cannot be in the NBA playoffs and not be good. They try to downplay it after. Oh, it's Embiid's not himself. Oh, Atlanta didn't have this. They were good teams. They were in it. Don't disrespect the game just to diss the Knicks. That's what people are doing. Disrespecting the game just to diss the Knicks. The Knicks are really, really good. Really good. I heard one idiot, Cameron, some dumb ass talking about, I still don't trust the Knicks. I don't care if you trust them or not. That don't change the fact. You could call the sky green. That don't make it not blue. You could say the sun's not rising. That don't make it not rise. You could deny it happened. That don't mean it didn't. The Knicks are really, really good. Okay. The only team I can see out here that could deal with them is San Antonio. San Antonio, I thought they would sweep Minnesota, but Juju and them putting up a light and ain't playing. They putting up a fight, but they not in the same class with Victor and then the cast of characters around him. They just don't have. Gobert is in a different level, couple levels lower, even at this stage, than young Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama could put the ball on the floor. He could lead a break. He could pass the basketball. He could shoot from the 3. And, of course, I mentioned he's the Defensive Player of the Year. They got one. Okay, they definitely got one in San Antonio. They just need the supporting cast to catch up to him. They're a little bit young, but they tough, okay? And I don't like to bring up the regular season. People do that too much. The regular season is not the playoffs. You remember Boston destroyed us in the regular season until we destroyed them in the playoffs. Okay? Now they bring up Detroit beat us 3 times in the regular season. Yeah, okay. We don't like celebrating in January. That's why we didn't hang no banner from the cup. We like celebrating in June. We the Knicks. This is the Don's Knicks. This is Brunson's Knicks. That's okay if you don't understand it, as long as the real fans understand it, okay? The Knicks, to me, with them in San Antonio, the 2 favorites to take the chip this year, okay? And I guess I told you, this is only year 2 of CAT. It's only year 2. And homeboy done figured out what he need to do. Going forward, they will still do that. This summer, there's going to be all kind of talk about Giannis. And y'all going to fall for it. And be asking the Knicks to trade championship roster for him. And I'm going to tell you, you stupid. No. Then they're going to be talking about Mitch Rob. He needs to be extended. Yes. Yes. Deuce needs to be extended. Yes. Did you see how they're playing in the playoffs? Did you see what they could do? Do you want to win or don't you? This ain't NBA 2K. Okay? Giannis is past 30. I'm not saying he ain't got no good years left. He still could be an MVP. But I'm not trading my roster for him. I'm not getting rid of OG and no grown-ass man for him. Hell no. Hell no. Did you see playoff McCall? Did you see that? Forget all these people that's supposed to know all they don't know jack. Otherwise they would see, and this is what really bothers me about the whole thing. Some of these cats, like the dude that claimed Philly was going to win in 7 games. Some of these cats talk that big mess before a series. And then when they look stupid after, they don't apologize and say, like grown men say, I was wrong about that. They're better than I thought. No. This is what happened. Atlanta was weak. Philly was not really a team. All of a sudden, the opponent wasn't that. That's punk ass right there. Just punk ass. Respect the game. Philly was good. We just beat their ass. Because we was way better. Okay? Period. Move. So now, the Knicks got to play Detroit. Somebody, you're going to tell me, you looking past... No, I ain't looking past Detroit. Detroit better not look past Cleveland, no. I will say that. And I'm looking at all teams, not as regular season. Don't get caught up in the hype, the star-driven league hype. Don't get brainwashed like that. Look at this as playoff basketball. You see, I was telling y'all in December, when y'all was talking about, what about them 5 picks for McCall? And they were putting up this stupid ass stuff on X about McCall. And I told y'all, when you get to the playoffs, you're going to like to have McCall Bridges. Look what's happening. Look. I told y'all, if they preserve Mitch Rob, bring him off the bench. You don't have to start him. Look, I told y'all in January, give Cat the damn ball and quit making it complicated. Look, now we got the formula. We got the roster. We got the talent. We don't have a whole bunch of injuries, and we got a week off. Look, here we come. The Juggernaut is here, okay? So what they going to do about Cade? I was looking this up the other day. I wanted to know what players in the NBA have the best defense against Cade Cunningham statistically. Do you know one of the top 3 with the best defense against Cade Cunningham? Mikal Bridges. Yeah. And you see what he did to Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is almost unguardable. The boy's a blur, man. He made him look human. Mikal made Maxey look human. That's what Embiid. Okay? So I'm not saying he's going to lock Cade up, but I'm saying he's with that length, that 7-foot wingspan, them long arms he got, and the mobility he got, Cade going to try to get physical because Cade's strong. Cade's a big-ass dude. If you actually look at Cade Cunningham, he is as big as OG Anunoby and as strong, okay? So he's going to be tough. I like my chances, though. I like my chances, okay? So if Mikal can at least come to a standstill with Cade, which means Cade going to still average 25. He's going to still hit threes. He's going to still be a superstar. But if you make it tough on him so that they have to work harder to get a basket and we get easy baskets, we win that series going away. Especially with CAT, because Duran can't deal with CAT. Paul Reed playing expired ball. I expect him. Tobias Harris going to come to play. They've been looking for this all year. See, they've been talking shit, during the course of the year when they beat us. It's all good. Okay? It's playoff time. It's playoff time. Okay? This is a new season. This is where the chip is on the line. This is when all the talk stops. You got to come to play. We'll see. So, tonight, Cleveland, Detroit. Game 5 in Detroit. The winner goes up 3-2. Okay? And 3-2 means there's a very high likelihood of that 3-2 leader winning the series. And it could go either way. I don't predict when I'm not sure. I don't just say crap just to make you sound like I called it. No, if I know, I'll tell you. And I don't know now. I had thought, and I still do think, Detroit has the better team. They're more equipped for the playoffs than Cleveland is, in my view. But Cleveland has shown obvious fight. It's 2-2. And Cleveland has been tough at home. Okay? Really has. So here, they're in Detroit. So Detroit should have an advantage. If Cleveland beats them in Detroit, ooh, there's a problem. So we'll see. But tonight's the game. It's going to be a toss-up in my view. I'm going to enjoy watching this game, okay, tonight. But it's a toss-up in my view. This is going to go 6 for sure. It's, because they 2-2, so they going 6. But it could go 7. We don't even know. We got to see what happens tonight in Detroit. Y'all enjoy your Wednesday. Don't worry about these fools out here. You got the best team in the East in New York. So